Near mint condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
Absolute format is the best way to own this store. Time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves. What's going on, all you minties? Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And today, it is our monthly budget meeting. That's right, it's time to take a look at the upcoming collected editions in August of 2023. Let's get started. And welcome back, everybody. That's right, it's time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves. We're talking about the Omnis, the Absolute Editions, the oversized hardcovers, the slipcases, the manga, some of the manga, not all the manga. That would take this video twice as long to get through. And, of course, trade paperbacks, epic collections, Marvel Masterworks, just about every edition that's available that is coming out in August. And as always, I like to remind people that dates are subject to change, so sometimes things slip into the next month, or the next month, or the next month. Hopefully, knock on wood, not into next year. Although Baby Teeth, Omnibus seems to just keep avoiding me. Who knows? Maybe in September. All right, so we got 5 weeks to get through. Before I go any further, smash that like button, please, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Ring that bell for notifications. All that does help with our YouTube algorithm and our channel keep growing. So let's go ahead and start with the week of August 2nd. From the world of Marvel Comics, we have Secret Warriors Omnibus. This is the new printing. And before I go any further, I do want to thank my buddy Aaron Cobbs for helping me put the Marvel and DC part of this video together. He gets all the information for me, and I really appreciate it, brother. But yeah, Secret Warriors Omnibus is coming back to print, collecting Mighty Avengers 13 through 18, Secret Warriors 1 through 28, Dark Reign, The List, Secret Warriors one-shot, Siege, Secret Warriors one shot, and then material from Dark Reign, New Nation #1. This is Brian Michael Bendis actually putting these characters together with the help of Jonathan Hickman, and then of course Hickman just running with his own stories and doing a lot of world building that you'll see in Secret Wars and his Fantastic Four run and his Avengers run. Stefano Caselli doing a lot of the artwork in here, and you have two covers, of course, the Ed McGuinness direct market cover, and then the Jim Chung standard edition cover. Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider Omnibus. This is the book that has 3 different covers coming out this particular week. Collecting Ghost Spider 1 through 10, Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider 1 through 10, Spider-Geddon Ghost Spider video comic, Annual #1 of Ghost Spider, Keegan Black, Gwenom vs. Carnage, Web Warriors 1 through 11, and then Amazing Spider-Man #1. My overview of that will be out sometime on Monday. And this would be considered Spider-Gwen Omnibus Volume 2 for the people that are keeping tabs. Doctor Strange Fall Sunrise Treasury Edition. Tradd Moore writing and drawing these particular issues. It's 4-issue miniseries. Tradd Moore is the artist that did Luther Strode is what I loved his art from, but I know a lot of people fell in love with his Silver Surfer Black that Donny Cates wrote. This is written by him, and it is drawn by him, and he's got this trippy art style. As a matter of fact, I think it's over here. Yeah, it's back there. I was looking at it a little bit earlier. I need to get on that and read it, because it's coming out next week. Miles Morales Spider-Man by Cody Ziegler, Volume 1. This is the new era of Miles Morales. I love that cover. That is by Daik Ruan. And this collects the first 5 issues of that series. So this takes place after Saladin Ahmed's series. Star Wars Dr. Aphra Volume 6, Ascendant, is coming out, collecting issues 26 through 31 of Dr. Aphra, the new Dr. Aphra series, taking place after Omnibus Volume 1, which also comes out this month. Dr. Aphra Omnibus Volume 2, which comes out this month. Legion of X by Cy Spurrier, Volume 2 is coming out, collecting issues 6 through 10. And then X-Men Before the Fall, Sons of X #1. Spider-Man No Way Home, the art of the movie is coming out, and this is, of course, the behind the scenes. I love these things. I'll be doing an overview of this one. I think it's the Eternals that is also coming out with a movie art book this month. Captain America Sentinel of Liberty Volume 2. I love the first volume. I thought it was so good. This collects Captain America and Winter Soldier Special number 1, Captain America Sentinel of Liberty 7 through 11. Jackson Lansing, Colin Kelly, Carmen Carnero, and Nico Leon are the creators behind this. And I know that J. Michael Straczynski's coming back to Marvel, and I know that he's going to be taking over Captain America. I just hope that they get to continue some kind of book, because everything I've read by them kind of reminds me of DNA, Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning, how well they work together. But who knows where Captain America might be. Marvel Multiverse role-playing game core rulebook. So it's the rulebook to the role-playing game. We're getting Marvelverse Kang, which is the best stories of Kang in digest size format. And to wrap up that particular week from Marvel Comics, we have Star Wars Thrawn, the new printing. From the world of DC Comics, we have Blue Beetle, Día de Graduación, or Graduation Day. What's so cool about this, I've never seen a publisher do this. Not one of the big two, I'm sorry. But Blue Beetle, Day of Graduation, or Graduation Day, sorry, and Día de Graduación will be coming out on the same day. And it's the exact same content, it's just one's in Spanish and one's in English. Collecting Graduation Day 1 through 6, it's written by Josh Trujillo and drawn by Adrian Gutierrez. So, that's awesome, man. The Sandman Book 6 is coming out. This is in trade paperback format, $34.99. Collecting Sandman Universe number 1, The Sandman Overture 1 through 6, and The Sandman Dream Hunters 1 through 4. Batman One Bad Day Clayface is coming out. Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing. So this is one I'm really excited to read. These are just a series of one-shots. Some of them won Emmys. Not Emmys, Eisners. Maybe one day they'll win an Emmy. Batman One Bad Day, Bane, Joshua Williamson. Love to see Howard Porter still drawing. That's awesome. Punchline, the Gotham Game is coming out from Teenie Howard and Blake Howard. Collecting issues of the Gotham Game 1 through 6. $24.99. It is a standard size hardcover. Swamp Thing, Green Hell. It's one of the Black Label hardcovers. So it's a different format, different size. Collecting the Green Hell 1 through 3. Jeff Lemire and Doug Mankey. Holy crap, Jeff Lemire and Doug Mankey. Now, this is where you're going to find Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've already done an overview, but as I mentioned during the overview, this is when everybody's going to be getting it this particular week. So if you already got it, just everybody else is getting it now, or will be getting it that particular week. From the world of manga, we have A Girl on Shore Collected Edition, and that looks absolutely gorgeous. I really like the idea. This is by Inio Asano, and it is about Sato and Kosuke, who are two teenagers living in a Japanese seaside town, and just drama. And that's all you need to say. It looks beautiful, though. And sometimes that's all I need. Amongst Us, Soulmates. This is volume 1, and I thought that was Among Us. I was telling my daughters, hey, look, they made a manga of Among Us. No, they did not. This has nothing to do with Among Us. Sorry about that. I should have known by the cover alone. Lupin the Third, Thick as Thieves, Classic Collection, volume 1. This is the hardcover collection continuing these wonderful series. And I think it was supposed to come out last month. And every month I do my top 10. This month is difficult, so I'm just going to do top 11. Just throwing that out there. Because there's so many wonderful, great books. And every once in a while, you know what? It's okay to break the rules. Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. This is Manga Volume 1 that is coming out. As well as Persona 4 Arena Ultimax Volume 1. That is published by Udon Studios. And I think they're coming out with a bunch of reprints of their Persona manga. Windbreaker Volume 1 is coming out. Let me tell you something. Windbreaker was something we all wore in the 90s. Whatever this material was made from. I don't know if this kid is wearing a windbreaker or not. But that is published by Kodansha Comics. We're also getting The First Night with Duke Volume 1. And that right there is being published by Net Comics. So not familiar with them. I don't think I have any of their manga, but not just the volume 1, but we're also getting 2 and 3. Really like those covers. Kind of reminds me a little, not just a little bit, of some Rose of Versailles. Yakuza Fiancé is coming out. And, oh man, that reminds me of my buddy Heather. She's a big fan of stories like this. Alright. By the way, if you want written documentation of all of this, that can be found on our Patreon starting at $1 a month. All right, now, from the world of Dark Horse Comics, we have The Lost Fountains by Alfredo Alamo. And this is an original graphic novel, I want to say. Juan Bobillo doing the artwork. And Juan Bobillo is the gentleman that worked with Dan Slott on the pages of She-Hulk. Abe Sapien, Uncanny Omar Talk Pretty One Day. Abe Sapien, The Drowning and Other Stories. Finally coming, man, these are just pumping out. This is the paperback version. It's been available in hardcover before. Black Hammer Omnibus Volume 2, speaking of availability in hardcover, this is also available in hardcover before. This collects Age of Doom 1 through 12 and Cthulhu's. And it is Jeff Lemire's world of Black Hammer. BPRD Omnibus Volume 6. They are just pumping these out. Now, these are mapped differently than the Hell on Earth and Plague of Frogs stories, so keep that in mind. I actually like the mapping here. Well, no, maybe one day they'll remaster those books. Prism Stalker, The Weeping Star by Sloan Leong. And I want to say this is the second story in the Prism Stalker series. This is a trade paperback for $24.99. From IDW, we're getting The Beauty of Horror, the tarot coloring book. I love that we have all these adult coloring books. Even as a kid, I would have loved that stuff. Trey Cavelt is coming out from Scott Bryan Wilson and Yana Kangas. And that, I believe, is an original graphic novel, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think these were released in issues. Not that I think. Anyway, okay. Let's keep going. From the world of Image Comics, we have Class War. That is coming out in trade paperback format. This is Rob Williams and Travel Foreman, collecting the first 6 issues of that series. And we're also getting Time Before Time, Volume 4. And I thought there was going to be a hardcover of this, but this collects 19 through 23 of this series. Then we're getting Spawn Origins Volume 26, and 154 to 160 is the issues of Spawn that this is collecting. Philip Tan by now is the artist, and I think David Hine and Todd McFarlane are both working on Spawn during this time. And Bigfoot and Nessie Volume 2 is coming out. I love that title. And that is being published by Penguin Workshop. Looks like a cute book. And we're also getting Cartoon Show. This is coming out in hardcover format, and that is being published by Oni Press. And Malcolm Kidd and the Perfect Song is coming out that very same week, published by Oni Press as well. And Marvel Comics Library hardcover Volume 4. Now, this is very important because why isn't this with Marvel Comics? Because Marvel isn't publishing this. This is published by Taschen. And these are the big oversized. They're bigger than Absolutes. They're bigger than Omnis. And it is the classic X-Men stories. I want to say the first 21 issues are in here, if I'm not mistaken. Now, these have a bigger price point because the paper stock is different. The binding is different. And like I said, they're huge books. And this is their 4th volume. They've done a Spider-Man book and they've done a Fantastic Four. Anybody else want to chime in what else they did? Was it Avengers? But anyway, this is X-Men. And we're also getting Mexikid, Volume 1 from Dial Books. As well as Oblivion Rogue, Hakinen, Saturday AM Tanks. So this is Volume 2 of this series that is published by Saturday AM. And coming out that very same week, we're getting Saving Chupi. And that is an original graphic novel, I want to say. And we're getting some Silver Age Classic Strange Journey softcover edition and a hardcover edition, both published by PS Art Books. Soggy Landing is coming out from Oni Press. That looks really cute. By Ian Densford and Alec McGovern. Team Trash Time Traveler's Guide to Sustainability is coming out from Holiday House. And Werewolf Jones and Sons. This is the Deluxe Summer Fun Annual is coming out from Fantagraphics. As well as The West of Sundown. This is being published by Vault Studios. This is Volume 2. Aaron Campbell and Tim Seeley working with Jim Terry on this particular series. I just got around to reading it, and I've only read the first issue. I'm a little lost because I didn't pick up Volume 1. 2000 AD, The Art of Kevin O'Neill, the Apex edition is coming out. Those Apex books are absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. And they're up there with art editions if you're a big fan of the art edition books. The Abolition of Man, the deluxe edition hardcover. This is part of my haul that I did for June and July. The folks at Living in the Lines sent me a copy of this. It is the first comic drawn by AI, which I know can be controversial for a lot of people, but it's creepy as hell. Alvar Mare, hardcover volume 3. And this is 3 or 4. 3 deaths of Alvar Mayor. I assume it's Alvar Mayor, not Alvar Mare. Maybe I just said that with my American accent. But this is... well, no, it has to be Alvar Mayor, right? This is written by Carlos Trillo and Enrique Breccia. Okay. Published by Epicenter Comics. So, yes. I take back. It's not Alvar Mayor, whatever I said. Archie, the 1,000-page comics Prestige is coming out. Brandon Sanderson's White Sand Omnibus is coming out. And that is being published by Dynamite. That's one that was a Kickstarter that they did a couple of... Was it a couple of years ago? I can't remember. Maybe it was just last year that they did that. But it is finally coming out. And drawn by Julius Gopez and Fritz Casas. And Nabesto Citro is doing the covers. But Rick Holskin is helping Brandon Sanderson write the graphic novel adaptation. My brother loves Brandon Sanderson. Girls Have a Blog. The complete edition is coming out that very same week, and that is being published by Rocket Ship Entertainment. Hocus Pocus, the complete collection hardcover. I don't think it has anything to do with the Bette Midler movie, like, at all. Guardians of Horsa is coming out. That looks adorable. Anytime I see books like that, it kind of reminds me of when my kids were big into My Little Pony. Now, one's going into high school and the other one in middle school. What happened to my babies? Lanky Box Epic Adventure graphic novel is coming out from Harper Alley. And Man Who Laughs, exploring Clown Prince of Crime. And probably has something to do with the Joker. As a matter of fact, it does. This is being published by Comic Mix. And it is a softcover edition. I'm not sure if there was a hardcover edition published of that particular book. 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, 1 beer. Just gets you to sing. Or maybe just me. And that's published by Z2 Comics. And Salmonella Smorgasbord is coming out. That doesn't sound like a smorgasbord I want to be any part of. And to wrap up that particular week, The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror Ominous Omnibus Volume 2. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for that. My daughter and I absolutely love Volume 1. The week of August 9th from Marvel Comics, we have Daredevil Epic Collection, Into the Fire. So this collects Daredevil issues 312 to 318, Daredevil Annual Number 9, Daredevil Black Widow Abattoir, Daredevil The Man Without Fear 1 through 5. Oh my gosh. For the price alone of Daredevil The Man Without Fear, this is worth it. But this has the work in here from Scott McDaniel, John Romita Jr., D.G. Chichester? So, screwing that one up. I'm so sorry. And Frank Miller, of course. And this one is $49.99, and it has 528 pages. Thor, The Mighty Avenger. If you've never read this, this is such a good series, and I'm so glad it is coming back to print. Collecting Thor, The Mighty Avenger 1 through 8, and Free Comic Book Day 2011. It's one of my favorite jumping on points for the character to suggest just to people. It's not really in continuity, but man, it's so good. It's so fun. The Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 4. This is the new printing. Both covers will be available the same day, in case you missed out on it the first time around. Thor Epic Collection, speaking of new printing, Immortal Flesh is coming out. So you have the work in here of Tom DeFalco, Ron Frenz, Roy Thomas, just to name a few of the people that worked on this particular book, collecting issues of Thor 401 to 418 plus annual number 14. Invincible Iron Man by Jerry Duggan, Volume 1, Demon in the Armor. And this collects issues 1 through 6 of the new Iron Man series. And it is drawn by Juan Frigeri and Andre De Vito, yeah. Avengers, War Across Time. Paul Levitz. I want to say this is the first Paul Levitz comic he's written for Marvel Comics. And please correct me if I'm wrong. And drawn by the legendary Alan Davis. collecting all 5 issues of War Across Time, featuring everybody's favorite time traveler. Maybe not. Maybe everybody's favorite time traveler is Marty McFly. It's one of my favorite time travelers. It's my favorite Avengers villain. That's what I meant to say. From the world of DC Comics, we have a new printing of Absolute Preacher containing the exact same content that the original printing had. That one will probably be in my top 10. Top 10! Top 11! What am I saying? Of August 2023. Lazarus Planet from Mark Waid and Riccardo Federici. This is the standard size hardcover for $29.99, collecting Lazarus Planet Alpha, Assault on Krypton, We Once Were Gods, Legends Reborn, Next Evolution, Dark Fate, and the Omega issue. 336 pages, $29.99. Vixen NYC Volume 1. One of my viewers told me that out of all the web comics they're doing, this is by far the best webtoon comic that they've done. Batman Wayne Family Adventures Volume 1. That cover, is that a Star Bright cover? This is another one of the webtoon comics, and then how it is being printed in a trade paperback. Batman Volume 3, Ghost Stories. This is by James Tynion in the fourth. And Gillian March is the artist, collecting Batman 101 to 105, and then a story from Detective Comics 10/27 and Batman Annual Number 5. Batman Detective Comics by Peter Tomasi Omnibus. Peter Tomasi is getting a lot of love in August, and like I said, I had to do top 11 because yeah, there's so many good books. Alright, but you know what? This would have been 12 if I had done a top 12. Why didn't it make the top 11? Because I had to choose between this and Green Lantern Corps. And I've been waiting years for that. Alright, but this collects material from Detective Comics 27, the new Detective Comics 27, not the original one. Detective Comics 994 to 1016, 1018 to 1033, Detective Comics Annual Number 2, and Detective Comics Annual Number 3. As well as Batman rest in peace, somebody. I don't want to spoil who ends up dying in the pages of Tom King's book, but they're dealing with it here because, you know, we ain't got time to mourn. Anyway, sorry. From the world of manga, we're getting Kane Banashi Volume 1. I'm sorry, not Kane. Wrestling on the mind for some reason. Akane Banashi Volume 1. Truth be told, that kind of looks a little bit like something Rumiko Takahashi would have drawn, or, you know. And Akane is one of my favorite characters from Ranma. But I like Akane with long hair. Attack on Titan Omnibus Volume 12, collecting issues 33 through 34 of Attack on Titan. Delinquent Daddy and Tender Teacher Volume 1. If that doesn't sell you on manga, that title alone, maybe manga is not for you. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. Just think of all my friends that are like, oh man, give me a title that I can get into manga. And I always give them the most ridiculous titles. Not that that's one of the most ridiculous, because they get a lot more ridiculous. Dementia 21, the box set is coming out. And I can't wait to try that out, because I've been wondering about that series. And it's this is printed by Fantagraphics. It's drawn by Keigo, and it's also written by him. This one is $60, so it's a little more pricier than for 2 volumes, that is. But it looks to be in a big oversized format. And by the way, this does have mature content. I just knew about, I've never actually got a chance to read it, but I've just known about it. Fangirl Manga Volume 3. This is a continuation of those stories by Rainbow Rowell, an original American manga, and of course published by Viz Comics. Hero in the Demon's Castle Volume. Oh no, this is just a standalone. Okay, well, good for Hero in the Hero's Castle. And that is coming out from Denpa Books. Dig that cover. Cover's badass. Now, Denpa Books is also publishing Rakuda Laughs. This is by Katsuya Terada. That one is coming out as well that particular week. And then Yokohama Kaidashi Kikyo Omnibus Volume 3. I love the first one. That was one of my favorite reads this year. From the world of Dark Horse Comics, we have Us. This is by Jomera Gil and Silvia Perea Labayenne. And this, I believe, is an original graphic novel. And I'll be doing an overview of that, as well as this one here next. That is Shaolin Cowboy, Cruel to Be Kin. This is a hardcover, 240 pages. $34.99. So we have the return of Jeff Darrow. Dave Stewart supplying the colors. Usagi Yojimbo Saga Volume 8, the second edition, in case you missed it out the first time around. Collecting issues 139 and 158 of Usagi Yojimbo. And from the world of IDW, we're getting My Little Pony Omnibus. I was just talking about how much I missed that time when my kids were reading these stories. This collects the final issues of My Little Pony, 89 to 102, from the Friendship is Magic, as well as the 2021 annual. Just memories, man. Michael Golden, Marvel Stories Artist Edition. One of my favorite artists. I think we've had his Micronauts in Artist Edition, and now we have the Marvel Stories Artist Edition. Doctor Strange 55, Avengers Annual 10, which of course you have to have in there for the first appearance of Rogue, the Spider-Man Hulk story from Marvel Fanfare 47, or some of the stuff that you're going to be seeing in there. But You Have Friends by Amelia Mackenzie is coming out in paperback format for $14.99, 116 pages. From the world of Image Comics, we have Ambassadors. This is a trade paperback, and this is Mark Miller, Travis Charest, Olivia Coipel, Mateo Scalera. Oh my gosh, the first 6 issues, the team up there alone, my gosh. Tim Seeley's working on Hexware, Volume 1. That is a Mirka Andolfo cover. And the artwork in here is supplied by Zulema Lavina, collecting the first 6 issues of Hexware. Oblivion Song is coming out in a compendium format, collecting all 36 issues. If you want to see my overview, I did an overview of the hardcovers. If you want to check out the artwork or see if even the story's for you. And Plush is coming out by Doug Wagner and Daniel Hilliard, collecting all 6 issues of that series. Or I assume the first 6 issues of that series. Damn Them All is coming out from Boom Comics. That title. Cy Spurrier and Charlie Adler. Charlie Adler, of course, the co-creator of The Walking Dead, and Cy Spurrier, one of my favorite independent writers, working on that book. Wind, trade paperback, volume 3. This is James Tynion's other book. These have been available in hardcover, and this is Throne in the Sky. Now, we're also going to get Little Red Fish. That is coming out that very same week, as well as Rick and Morty Crisis on C-137. And Slime Shop hardcover is coming out that very same week. Beardo, Volume 6. It's the Little Things. Calculated Man is coming out in trade paperback format, as well as Cindy and Biscuit, We Love Trouble. Graphic novel. That's a heck of a title. The Complete Persepolis is coming out in a hardcover format, so both volumes 1 and 2 in one hardcover for the 20th anniversary. Mad Cave Studios is releasing Dahlia in the Dark, Volume 1. This is written by friend of the show, Joe Corallo, and drawn by Andrea Molina. And that is being published by Mad Cave Studios. And we're also getting the Dying Light graphic novel coming out that same week. I believe this has been available already in a hardcover format, if I'm not mistaken, but now it is coming out in a trade paperback format. And we're also getting the James Bond Agent of Spectre. Those James Bond titles from IDW are freaking awesome if you haven't read them. Just every one of them is different enough. They're great. And we're getting Mother Nature. We're getting a direct edition cover and the hardcover. Both are coming out the same day from Titan Comics. This is the one by Jamie Lee Curtis, of course, making her graphic novel debut with Russell Goodman and Carl Stevens working on that particular title. There is a signed edition also available through the direct market, so through Diamond. And Museum of Mistakes, the definitive Fart Party from Uncivilized Books is coming out that week, as well as Paul Bunyan, Invention of an American Legend, coming out that very same week from Toon Graphic. And we're getting Real Hero stuff. Just censoring myself because of YouTube, but you see it written there. If that's up your alley, more power to you. That is published by Iron Circus Comics. It is Kendra Wells that writes and draws that particular. I love that cover, though. And See in You is coming out that very same week, and that is being published by Iron Circus Comics as well. Restless from Street Noise Books is coming out that very same week. And Those Who Helped Us Assisting Japanese Americans is coming out that very same week. And that is published by Chin Music Press. And it's by Ken Mochizuki and Kiku Hughes. So it is a true story set around the time of the concentration camps. Oh, that looks like a deep read. Undead Ed Graveyard Edition is coming out that very same week. This is a hardcover collection from Rocket Ship Entertainment, but it's also getting a softcover edition. Moving on to the third week of the month, so either the 15th or 16th, from Marvel Comics, we have X Factor Epic Collection Judgment War. This collects issues 37 through 50, Uncanny Omar talk pretty one day, X Factor Annual number 4, Uncanny X-Men 242 to 243. So we are looking at the Inferno Saga and Post-Inferno. And for the first time ever, Judgment War collected in a collected edition. And we're also getting Loki, the Modern Era Epic Collection, Journey into Mystery, collecting Journey into Mystery 622 to 632, Loki number 1 from 2010, and 626.1. Immortal Hulk Omnibus is coming out. All those issues plus more that they added, 1,616 pages, $150. Both covers are coming out that very same week. Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider is coming out. This is one of the digest-sized books, collecting the Spider-Geddon Ghost Spider video comic, number 1, Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider 1 through 10, and Spider-Geddon. So this is 240 pages, $13.99. Marvel Masterworks, The Incredible Hulk, Volume 17, coming out that day. We are looking at the Bill Mantlo and our pal Sal Buscema era. Although the cover is by Frank Miller. Collecting Contest of Champions 1 through 3, Hulk 256 to 265, and Annuals 10 and 11. Trials of X, Volume 12. This is the final volume of the anthologies, collecting Devil's Reign number 3, X-Men number 8, Sabretooth 2 and 3, and Marauders Annual number 1. Sad to see it go. Hulk Joe Fixit by Peter David and Yildiray Sinar. And this is all 5 issues plus Hulk 347. Glad to see Peter David still writing Hulk stories. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a companion volume 2 one day. Marvel Studios Eternals, The Art of the Movie is coming out. And that wraps up the week for Marvel Comics. And then we get from DC Wonder Woman by Brian Azzarello and Cliff Chiang Omnibus, collecting issues 0 through 35 and 23.1, as well as a story from Secret Origins number 6. And this is, of course, the New 52 era of Wonder Woman. It's one of the best jumping on points. I really enjoyed it. I know it doesn't get a lot of love or recognition because it's Stark, but I dig it. Batman One Bad Day box set. So here you have all the One Bad Day, this is the one-shots, and it is 800 pages, $159, because they're all hardcovers in this nice box set. And it does include the Killing Joke in there, in case you weren't aware that that's kind of where the idea of One Bad Day came from. But absolutely, it's included in there. So all the books are in there. A lot of those are 2023 Eisner winners or Eisner nominated. Absolute V for Vendetta is coming out. It's just a reprint of the original Absolute V for Vendetta. $125 this time around, though. I think the original printing was $100. This is 384 pages. Alan Moore and David Lloyd. And Nightwing, The Joker War. Dan Jurgens, Graham Nolan working on this book. I had no idea Graham Nolan worked on this. That's awesome. Or at least he's credited. So in here you're going to find Nightwing Annual number 3 and Nightwing 70 through 77. Batman Detective Comics Volume 1, Gotham Nocturne Overture. Ron B. and Raphael Albuquerque working on this particular book. This is a hardcover, 152 pages. Batman One Bad Day, Ra's al Ghul, really depends on if you grew up with the Batman animated series or you read the comics first. Tom Taylor and Ivan Reis working on this particular one-shot. And it's also part of the box set. You can get it all in one. Monkey Prince Volume 2, The Monkey King and I, Jean Luen Yang and Bernard Chang working on this book. On a whim, I read Volume 1 because I can't remember who had it. Tina had it, and I'm like, what does this do it here? I really liked it. This collects issues 7 through 12 and Lazarus Planet Alpha number 1, as well as the Omega issue. Wonder Woman Volume 4, Revenge of the Gods. Becky Cloonan, Michael Conrad, Jordi Belair working on this book, collecting Wonder Woman 795 to 800. We have a lot of DC. DC is stepping up their game, man. Batman Volume 2, The Batman of Gotham. Chip Zdarsky, Jorge Jimenez, still on the run of Batman, 240 pages. This is a standard size hardcover, $24.99. Wonder Girl Homecoming by Joelle Jones is coming out. This is Yara Flor. I think this is where she first starts. Collecting Wonder Girl 1 through 7, Future State, Wonder Woman 1 and 2, and then the selection from Infinite Frontier number 0. From the world of manga that particular week, we have Disney's manga Nightmare Before Christmas, Zero's Journey. This is the Ultimate Edition. And Persona 4 Arena is coming out. That's Volume 1 of Arena, but we're also getting Persona 5 Mementos Missions Volume 1. And both are coming out from Udon. Red Flowers is coming out in a hardcover format. And we're also getting Chojin X Volume 3. Has anybody been reading this series? I've been kind of curious about it. Rooster Fighter Volume 4, continuing the adventures of a rooster fighter, of course. Marmalade Boy, this is the collector's edition. Volume 3 is coming out. So happy to see the continuation of Marmalade Boy. I was a big fan of that manga, and I got the first volume. I need to pick up Volume 2 and get this one too. And from IDW, we have Frank Miller's Daredevil Artist Edition. And oh my gosh, that's crazy. We have 2 artist editions almost back to back. So this is Roger McKenzie, of course, writing some of the stories in here, but then, of course, Frank Miller, Klaus Janson, the embellisher. Terry Austin does some of the inks. Oh my gosh. That's going to be a beautiful book. Now, the thing with these is they are pricier, right? They're more expensive. They're 144 pages, 150 pages, and about $150. And most places, at least here in America, because I know my international viewers don't really have a lot of choices, unless they live in Europe or the UK. But they don't really offer that big of a discount. Like, neither here nor overseas for these artist edition books. They're gorgeous, but just, yeah, they don't really offer a lot of discounts for those type of books. From the world of Image Comics, we're getting Little Monsters Volume 2. This is Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen reuniting. This collects issues 7 through 13 of that particular series. From Boom Comics, we have Approach. This is Jeremy Hahn and Jason Hurley working on this book. And this collects Approach 1 through 5. And we have Specs coming out from David M. Boer and Chris Shahan. Collects the first 4 issues of Specs. And we're getting Vampire Slayer Buffy, of course, because she is the Vampire Slayer, right? This is Sarah Gailey and Hannah Templar working on this and collecting the Vampire Slayer 9 through 12. I assume there's more Vampire Slayers, and that's why they took away the title Buffy. Just assuming here. I'm not sure what happened. Billy Blaster and Robot Army from Outer Space is coming out. So this is published by Amulet Books. It's Laini Taylor and Jim D. Bartolo is the artist working on that particular book. And we're also getting Blade Runner 2039 Volume 1. Now, this is in trade paperback format. This is published by Titan Comics. Bunny Mask Volume 2, Hollow Inside, not Hallow. Hollow Inside is coming out from Aftershock Comics. And the first adventures of Sherlock Holmes' Study in Scarlet is coming out. I've been curious about that one. I think that one got pushed back from the month of July. So I've been really curious about that. That is a hardcover published by Magnetic Press. And also coming out that very same month is Ghost Book hardcover, Volume 1. And it's also coming out in graphic novel. And that is by Henry Holt Publishing. I love when publishers do that. They release both. Gremory Land Volume 1 is coming out that very same week from Webtoon Unscrolled and Grumpy Cat Grumpus and Other Horrible Holiday Tales. Man, people are ready for Halloween, huh? For October. good. I love doing my Hidden Gems of October every year. And I'll try to do some new books, too, that have come out recently. Guest in the House graphic novels coming out from First Second Books. And that is being written and drawn by Emily Carroll. And we're also getting In Search of Gil Scott-Heron, the godfather of rap. This is being published by Titan Comics. And Land of the Living Gods is coming out. That one there is being published by Aftershock Comics. And that one, I think, has been delayed a couple of months, but it is hopefully coming out. Lucy graphic novel is coming out that very same week. That's from Heavy Metal Entertainment. And Messenger, The Legend of Muhammad Ali, is coming out from First Second Books as a softcover and a hardcover. And Mezcal, speaking of hardcover, is coming out that very same week from Magnetic Press. That's another one that I thought was out already. Maybe that's a restock of it. Of Thunder and Lightning graphic novel is coming out, and that is being published by Silver Sprocket. And we're getting the Red Zone trade paperback published by AWA. From Humanoids, we're getting The Shadows of Thule by Patrick Mallet and Lionel Marty. And that is $27.99, and it is a hardcover. Stan Lee Back Channel is coming out in hardcover format and in softcover format from Rocket Ship Entertainment. And Two Tribes, another book that's coming out in hardcover format and softcover format from the world of Heart Drum Publishing. Ultra Laser trade paperback is coming out, and that is being published by Fair Square Comics. And oh my gosh, that's one that's up on my must-read list. I don't know if it'll make the top 11, though. It just looks good. I've never read it. It looks like it's a book that's being translated by Fair Square Comics. Pauline Girard and Maxine Henry. Maybe this has been available in hardcover and I got it and I haven't had a chance to read it yet. In a nutshell, it's an environment-conscious tale about friendship in the vein of One Piece and Pokemon. Say no more. It's almost going to make me shed a tear. Washington's Gay General hardcover is coming out that same week. That is by Josh Trujillo and Levi Hastings, published by Abram Comics Art. And it is a biography that tells the true story of one of the most important but largely forgotten military leaders of the American Revolution. Love when books do that. You know, comics have taught me a lot over the years. Surfer is coming out from Rebellion 2000 AD by John Wagner and Colin McNeil. And just telling stories of... It's John Wagner. I mean, this is Strontium Dog, right? John Wagner. Judge Dredd. Now, if you're interested in any of these books, and if you live in Europe, check out our sponsor.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltscomicshop.com, and you can use the code NEARMINTCONDITION at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
The week of August 22nd or 23rd, depending on where you get your books from Marvel Comics, we have Avengers Epic Collection, The Gathering. So this is the Bob Harris leather jacket years, as you should probably see on the cover. Bob Harris and Steve Epting era. I happen to love this era. Collecting Avengers 367 to 377. Avengers Annual 23, X-Men 26, West Coast Avengers, or Avengers West Coast 101, Uncanny X-Men 307, and then the Avengers Log number 1. So this has the Blood Ties story, which is the crossover between the X-Men and the Avengers, right after the Fatal Attractions crossover. It's like one thing after the other happening for the X-Men. Infamous Iron Man by Bendis and Malieve, collecting issues of Iron Man 1 through 12, and Invincible Iron Man 593 to 600. While not a epic collection or modern epic, they are thick books. Ironheart, the saga of Riri Williams, so also by Brian Michael Bendis, collecting Invincible Iron Man 1 through 14. This is another one that's a thick book, 328 pages, $39.99. Marvel Masterworks, the remasterworks continue, and for the people that have been asking me if Marvel is still continuing that line, yes, they are. Just make sure you get your pre-orders in. Marvel, what the hell am I even saying? Marvel Masterworks, The Avengers Volume 1. This is the new printing, 280 pages, $75. Collecting the first 10 issues of The Avengers. Miles Morales, Spider-Man by Salin and Ahmed Omnibus. So this collects Miles Morales, Spider-Man 1 through 42. That's the 2018 series. Absolute Carnage, Miles Morales 1 through 3. Amazing Spider-Man 81, Miles Morales The End, and then material from Free Comic Book Day 2019. Spider-Man Venom, Incoming number 1, Amazing Spider-Man 49, and Miles Morales Spider-Man Annual number 1. For people keeping tabs of reading orders, this would be Miles Morales Volume 3 Omnibus, really. So after the two Bendis books, this will be the next book. $125, 1,160 pages. Avengers Epic Collection, this Beachhead Earth. This is a new printing of it, collecting Avengers 77 through 97. And Incredible Hulk 140. Marvel Masterworks, the Fantastic Four. I'm just glad the Masterworks are back. There for a couple of months, we didn't get any. But they're coming back. Marvel Masterworks, the Fantastic Four, Volume 25. More of the John Byrne era, collecting issues 269 to 277, annual number 18, The Thing number 19 and 23, and the material from Epic Illustrated 26 through 34. And Star Wars The High Republic Phase 2, Volume 2, Battle for the Force, collecting issues 6 through 10 of The High Republic. From the world of DC Comics, Absolute Sandman Overture. This is the 2023 edition, $150, 416 pages. And Green Lantern Corps Omnibus by Peter Tomasi and Patrick Gleason. Okay, I've already spoiled it, but yes, this is definitely making it into my top 11 because, oh my gosh, it's freaking Batman by, or sorry, slip of the tongue there. He is getting an omnibus of that too. But Green Lantern Corps by Peter Tomasi. It's one of my most wanted books. I have customs of them for years, and it is finally coming out. And speaking of Peter Tomasi, we're not done with his stuff yet because Batman Detective Comics Volume 5, The Joker War is coming out. And this is in trade paperback format, collecting Detective Comics 1020 to 1026. Wonder Woman Black and Gold. And this has been released in hardcover format. This is the trade paperback format of this 6-issue miniseries. Robin and Batman is coming out. Another one that was released in hardcover, but now it is coming out in trade paperback. Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen reuniting. Wildcats Volume 1, Better Living Through Violence. Matthew Rosenberg and Steven Segovia working on the first 6 issues, plus it also contains Batman Urban Legends number 6, as well as a tale from Wildstorm's 30th anniversary special. And that's, okay, I'm really happy to see the continuation of that stuff, but I would love to see some classic stuff. We have one Absolute, and that's pretty much it, and I kind of want more. We need more of that era. We have some really good Alan Moore stories with Travis Charest. We have Volume 2, Volume 3, so anyway, who knows? Maybe one day we'll get that stuff in some kind of omnibus or some kind of collected edition. Doesn't matter to me as long as it comes out. Cat-Eyed Boy Perfect Edition is coming out. This is a book that's been long out of print and in hardcover format from Viz Comics. Don't Toy With Me Nagatoro box set is coming out. Now, this is the second box set of Don't Toy With Me Nagatoro. I have the first one, so I had no idea they were going to make 2 box sets. Game of Familia Family Senki Volume 1 is coming out that very same week, and that is being published by Yen Press. As well as I Don't Know Which Is Love Volume 1. That one's also published by Yen Press. And Illustrated Guide to Monster Girls Volume 1 is coming out. I love those books. That one is published by Yen Press. This one's a little smaller, though. This one's $13.99. Killing Slime 300-Year Spin-Off Dragon Academy. This is one of the titles that I was talking about, that they get so ridiculous and just so long. Also being published by Yen Press, $13. Natsu, Wicked Stepmom. So, wow, that is a gorgeous cover. Even though the cover's not final. Now, this one is $20, so it is an all-in-one. This isn't a volume number, or there doesn't look to be like any other volumes. Okinawa is coming back to print. This is a powerful story by Susumu Higa. And this is being published by Fanatic Graphics. And from Dark Horse Comics, we're getting Lobster Johnson Omnibus Volume 2. So glad that these are coming out. They just keep putting these out in hardcover format. The Neverending Party. This is a very special book because it is Joe Corallo and his long friendship with Rachel Pollack in here. They are both of the writers in this book, and it is illustrated by Eva Cabrera. And collecting the Neverending Party 1 through 5. These were original Comixology books. We lost Rachel a couple months ago. She was a pioneer in this wonderful industry, and gone too soon. Screw cancer. I have to censor myself because otherwise YouTube's like, nope. Beatrix Rose, Vigilante. This is by Stephanie Williams and Valeria Favocchia, published by Dark Horse Comics, collecting the 5-issue series of Beatrix Rose, Vigilante. The Ones by Brian Michael Bendis and Jacob Edgar. And I want to say this is the new series by Brian Michael Bendis from his Jinx World stuff. Spy Superb, coming out in hardcover format. Not to be confused with the book I mentioned earlier, but this is a new book. This is Spy Superb 1 through 3 with a brand new cover there by Matt Kent. And from IDW, we're getting Godzilla, Monsters and Protectors, All Hail the King. Eric Burnham and Dan Schoening are the creators behind that particular book. From the world of Image Comics, we're getting Art Brut, hardcover volume 1. And even though it doesn't say it on the cover, I knew that was W. Maxwell Prince, Martin Morasso, and Matt Lopez working on this book. They're the same people that did The Weatherman and the Ice Cream Man. But this collects the first 4 issues of Art Brut. I don't even want to know what it's about, just because I'm excited to read it. The Complete Witchblade, coming out in trade paperback and in hardcover the same day. Volume 3, collecting Witchblade 37 through 57, Destiny's Child 1 through 3, and Witchblade Lady Death number 1. I will not make a Beyonce joke. Believe me. I'm a dad and I always wanted to make a dad joke. Low is coming out. Golly, there's so many good books. The Compendium is coming out. This is Rick Remender and Greg Tonichi. If you've never read it, it is a beautiful story. It has a lot of... It's about depression and dealing... Oh my gosh, it's just so good. There's so many layers to this book. And I don't give a crap if everybody's like, oh yeah, man, Rick Remender's really tropey. All these things he has to his characters. Yeah, but I still dig it. You know, Stephen King was like that too. But anyway, this is all 26 issues, $49.99. Ordinary Gods is coming out from Image Comics. This is Kyle Higgins and Joe Clark and Frank William collecting Ordinary Gods 7 through 12. I don't know if that will get the hardcover treatment or not one day. Speaking of hardcover treatment, Giant Days looks like it's coming out again in hardcover format. I kickstarted with the last 3 volumes that I needed, but they're gonna release these, I think, one by one. Here's Giant Days Library Edition number 1. My Kickstarter actually donated a couple of these to libraries. I love these stories, and it's good that they actually are coming back out with them. Sucks that we have to go the Kickstarter route, but at least they're coming back. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Recharged, Volume 2. This is collecting Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 103 to 106. Melissa Flores is the main writer on the book. Simona Di Gianfelice. Melissa Flores is the writer on the book, while Kath Lobo and Simona Di Gianfelice is the artist, or are the artists on the book. And we are also getting Proof That the Devil Loves You hardcover format. And that is coming out that same week, as well as Starseeds Volume 3. This is the hardcover format. And we're also getting the Adventure Game Comics Volume 2, Beyond, coming out that week. All Tomorrow's Parties, Velvet Underground story. This is coming out in hardcover format. Archie Horror presents The Chilling Adventures. Digging that cover right there. But this is cover artist Robert Hack. Doesn't say there's various writers and artists working on that book. Astronaut Down is coming out in trade paperback format from Aftershock Comics. This is by James Patrick, and Rubin is the artist on the book. Best of Simon and Kirby mainline comics is coming out in hardcover format. This is an interesting collection because I just think of the work that he did, or both of them did, over at Marvel. Convoy is coming out in hardcover format, and that is being published by Magnetic Press. Diaries of War is coming out, and that book right there is being published by 10 Speed Press. And Everfrost is coming out in trade paperback, as well as Gangster Ass Barista by Black Mass Studios Entertainment. But I dig that cover. Has a, I don't know, it has that the classic coloring to it, for like, kind of reminds me of like the 20s and 30s. And we're getting the Mindbender trade paperback volume 1. This is the remastered edition. And we're also getting the Mingus hardcover. And Mingus hardcover is being published by the NBM Publishing Company. Red Sonja is coming out, trade paperback volume 1, Mother. And that is, of course, being published by Dynamite! And Mirka Andolfo, Luca Blengino, and Giuseppe Cafaro are the folks putting that particular book together. Not physically, it's just their work is being collected in there. Not a New York Love Story is coming out, and that is in trade paperback format and published by Fair Square Comics. And Rick and Morty Presents trade paperback volume 5 and published by Oni Press. I think that Oni Press and Dark Horse both own the rights to different Rick and Morty collections. Silver Age Classics Gorgo hardcover. There is a slipcase edition of this too, but man, I love that cover. That's got to be Steve Ditko. This collects Gorgo 11 through 15. This is the 1963 series. So if you can't get enough of giant monsters, this is some of the stuff from that particular era in the 60s. Swamp God hardcover is coming out, and this is by Heavy Metal Entertainment by Ron Mars and Armitano. And yes, I'm getting Swamp Thing vibes, but it's Swamp God. The Naked Tree graphic novel is coming out from Drawn and Quarterly, and this is written by Kyum Suk Gendry Kim and drawn by them. It's a critically acclaimed and award-winning cartoonist returns with a stunning addition to her body of graphic novel, adapted from The Naked Tree. Oh, Drawn and Quarterly, they publish some wonderful books, but sometimes they hit you, man. Tower Volume 1 is coming out, and that is being published by A Wave Blue World. And this is by Cameron Johnson and Kelsey Barnhart. $19.99 for the Volume 1. And Vampirella Mind Warp is coming out to wrap up that week of collected editions from Dynamite. That is by Jeff Parker and Benjamin Dewey. Whew, we are at the last week of the month, and from Marvel Comics, we kick it off with Marvel Voices Community. And this is a continuation of their Marvel Voices books. We've had Pride, we've had Native Americans, we've had African Americans. I believe this is the Latinos. I remember making a joke when we were doing the solicitations that they could have called this book Latin X. Just make us all X-Men, baby. All the Latinos. But this collects Marvel Voices Community 1 from 2021 and Community 1 from 2022, as well as Reptile. Forgot that little dude was Latino. The Avengers Omnibus Volume 3, the new printing, collecting issues 59 to 88, Incredible Hulk 140, Marvel Superhero 17, and Not Brand Ek number 3, 768 pages, $100. Now, I've done an overview of the first two, so if you want to check it out, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, or go and watch them. The playlist is Hardcovers Omnibus playlist. I need to start new playlists, Marvel books, and then DC books, and Image, Dark Horse, Humanoids, yeah. I gotta work on those playlists. Okay, the Invincible Iron Man Omnibus Volume 1 coming back to print. And collecting Tales to Suspense. No, Uncanny Omar Talk Pretty One. Tales from... Gosh, it's 5 weeks. It's a long day. Material from Tales of Suspense, 39 to 83. And Tales to Astonish, 82. That's what I kept going with. But this one has 752 pages, $100. The important thing about this one is that when it first came out, it was liquidated. It didn't sell that well. So Marvel sat on the idea of reprinting it for a long time, for a couple of years. And they finally did it this year. So any hope of a reprint of Volume 2 and further volumes of the Silver Age rely on how good the pre-orders were. So in case you or anybody else has been wanting more of that stuff, that's how that kind of happens. Thor's been kind of quiet, but Daredevil Volume 2 did good. So here's hoping that the Silver Age stuff, for the people that have been wanting that stuff, come back. Venom! Modern Epic Collection Agent Venom is coming out, collecting Amazing Spider-Man 654, The Beast Story 654.1, Venom 1 through 16, 13.1 to 13.4. And not the only modern collection, because we're also getting New Avengers Modern Era Epic Collection Assembled, collecting Avengers 500 to 503, the Director's Cut of 500, Avengers Finale, and then New Avengers 1 through 10, as well as the Director's Cut of New Avengers Most Wanted Files. Avengers The Kang Dynasty. This is the new printing, Kurt Busiek and Alan Davis, collecting issues of Avengers, the 1998 series, 41 through 55, and then material from Avengers Annual 2001. That is my favorite Avengers story. Marvelverse Ironheart, collecting Ironheart 1, 6 through 7, Generations Iron Man and Ironheart number 1, and this is 120 pages. This is a digest-sized book for $9.99. Star Wars Dr. Aphra Volume 2, both covers available the same day, collecting issues of Dr. Aphra 1 through 25. Alyssa Wong is the writer on the book. Marika Cresta is the artist. And this one is 560 pages, $75. Fantastic Four Epic Collection, The Crusader Syndrome. This is the Jerry Conway era, isn't it? Yes, Jerry Conway. Maybe Roy Thomas. I could just look at the cover, but I'm not looking at the covers. I'm just looking at the titles when I'm looking at my list. So collecting Fantastic Four 147 to 167, Giant Size Fantastic Four 2 through 4, Avengers 127, and then material from Marvel Treasury Edition number 2 through 520 pages and $49.99. Okay, now let's look at the cover. Let's see. Yeah, Jerry Conway, Roy Thomas, Rick Buckler, and Big John Buscema, as well as George Perez. Man, there's some great talent in that book. Marauders by Steve Orlando, Volume 2, collecting Marauders 6 through 10. And this is 224 pages, $29.99. It is a trade paperback. Elektra, Black, White, and Blood, a book that's been released in Treasury Edition, now coming out in paperback. $17.99, collecting the 4-issue anthology series. I can't wait to read this. Punisher, Volume 2, The King of Killers, Book 2. Because I love Volume 1, and people that have asked me if I've read it were disappointed by the ending. And not everybody, right? Some people are like, yeah, it's a good wrap up to the story, or I hated the way it ended. And some people are like, yeah, I want to see what happens next. It sucks that I'm behind because I want to join in on the conversation, but I haven't read it. So $24.99, collecting issues 7 through 12. Jason Aaron, Jesus Zaiz, and Paul Azaqueta are the creators behind this book. And Scarlet Witch by Steve Orlando, another book that I'm really curious about. Volume 1. A lot of people were telling me how wonderful this is. This is The Last Door. Steve Orlando is writing it, but Sarah Pichelli is drawing the artwork, or drawing the artwork, that's redundant, drawing the stories in here, collecting the first 5 issues as well as annual number 1. Steve Orlando is one of these writers that's very hit and miss with me, so most people that have told me about the series told me it's excellent, though. Superman Red Sun from DC Comics is getting a new printing. Mark Miller and Dave Johnson collecting all 3 issues, and it is a trade paperback. Absolute Superman for all seasons. Ugh, can't wait to talk about it. Maybe in my top 11. Batman Nightwatch, Jay Torres and Eric Owen collecting all 10 issues of Batman Nightwatch. This is a trade paperback edition. Batgirl Volume 8, The Joker War. I love that cover right there. This is Cecil Castellici, and this collects issues 45 through 50 of Batgirl. Harley Quinn, The Animated Series Volume 1, The Eat, Bang, Kill Tour. T. Franklin and Max Sarin. And this collects the Eat, Bang, Kill Tour 1 through 6 in trade paperback format. It's been released in a hardcover. The Phantom Stranger Omnibus. Now I'm going to say something. This is not in my top 11. This would have been in the top 15. But I also don't want to jinx this damn thing from coming out because how many times have we had it solicited? I lost count. It's almost become a joke. And it's almost become a sad joke because people are asking, is this ever going to come out? And hell yes, finally. Yes, I hope. Last week of the month, Phantom Stranger Omnibus, baby. $150, 1,248 pages. Collecting Phantom Stranger 1 through 6, the 1952 series. The Phantom Stranger 1 through 41, the 1969 series. Stories of Swamp Thing 1 through 13. Who's Who, the Definitive Directory of the DC Universe number 18. Brave and the Bold 89, 98, 148. Showcase 80. Justice League of America 103. House of Secrets 150. DC Superstars number 18. Secret Origins 10. And DC Comics Presents 25 and 72. Man, that is a range of stories from the 50s to the late 60s. Stuff, just a handful of stories I've read in here. So I'm in, even though not the biggest fan of this era, of the Silver Age era. But then, I kind of take it one by one, case by case, because not every Silver Age story is written the same way. So I guess we will see. But yeah, that one is coming out finally the last week of the month. Knock on wood. From the world of manga, we're getting Depth of Field Volume 1. And we're also getting Does It Count If I Lose My Virginity to an Android? I don't think so. But I had to... Did I make the same joke with Volume 1? That cover, though. Whew. Is that the Android? Which one's the Android? Alright, doesn't matter. Faded Away Volume 1 is coming out. And that is being released by Rocket Ship Entertainment. And we're also getting Nichijou. And that is Volume 11 coming out. I love those books. I finally got around to reading the first box set. So I'm assuming that there will be more box sets of that series. The Night Captain is the New Princess to Be, Volume 1. And that is being released by Seven Seas Entertainment. From Dark Horse Comics, we are getting the Star Wars, the High Republic Adventure, the complete Phase 1. So, Dark Horse is handling the, I guess, geared towards kids books. But it's got wonderful artwork in here by Harvey Tolibao, who fell in love with his artwork in the Psylocke miniseries. But that is the complete Phase 1. This is one that I've been wanting to read. I cannot wait to read it. James Tynion and Michael Avon Oeming working together on this book. That is Blue Book Volume 1, 1961. This is the paper. I'm surprised they went paperback instead of hardcover for that one. Creepy Archives, speaking of paperback, reprinting the Creepy Archives and Eerie Archives in paperback format. Archie Goodwin and Gray Morrow, John Severin, Frank Frazetta, collecting issues 6 through 10 of Creepy magazine. Blood Force Trauma, Jake Smith and Hiram Corbett working on this book. $19.99. It is a softcover. Star Wars The High Republic Adventures, The Nameless Terror. Collecting The Nameless Terror 1 through 4. And that is written by George Mann. Den, Volume 1. I cannot wait for this book. Richard Corbin. Drawn by Richard Corbin. There's an introduction by Patton Oswalt. And this is the segments of it's the inspiration for the segment Den in the Heavy Metal movie. Definitely for mature readers. I don't have an advanced copy of it, but I cannot wait to see the colors there. Avatar: The Last Airbender Imbalance Omnibus. Collecting Imbalance 1 through 3. It's Only Teenage Wasteland. Awesome. By Kurt Pires. And this collects It's Only Teenage Wasteland 1 through 4. The EC Archives Weird Science Volume 2 is coming out in trade paperback format, collecting Weird Science 7 through 12. So this is an anthology, so there's 24 stories in there. The Witcher Volume 7, The Ballad of the Two Wolves, coming out in paperback, collecting all 4 issues of that miniseries. Iyanu, Child of Wonder Volume 3 by Roye Okupe. Wow, that looks good. It's an animated series on Max and Cartoon Network, huh? This is the paperback, 136 pages. The EC Archives Two-Fisted Tales. They are pumping these out. This is the trade paperback edition, $19.99. Harvey Kurtzman and Wally Wood. John Severin, just to name a few of the phenomenal creators working on that particular book. And from IDW, we are getting Sonic the Hedgehog, Scrapnik Island, Daniel Barnes and Jack Lawrence, $15.99. Funny Things, a comic strip biography of Charles M. Schultz. Okay, that's up my alley. $39.99 by Luca Debus and Francisco Matteozzi. And Shelley Frankenstein, Book 1, Cowpig by Colleen Madden. That's cute. From Image Comics, we're getting Nailbiter as a compendium, and this collects Nailbiter 1 through 30 and Nailbiter Hack Slash. This is Joshua Williamson and Mike Henderson's story. And Nightclub Volume 1, Mark Miller with Juanan Ramirez, collecting issues 1 through 6. That is a cover by Greg Capullo. And from the world of Boom Comics, we are getting the Magic the Gathering hardcover volume 5. So Jed McKay and Rich Dweck and Miguel Mercado collecting Magic 21 through 25. From Fantagraphics, we have Cloven hardcover volume 2, Garth Stein and Matthew Southworth. And this book is $24.99, and it is coming out that last week of the month. We're also getting Lokita, Supernatural Superhero, published by Phoenix Studios. Memories of a Man in Pajamas. Oh my gosh, I had no idea Paco Roca was working on a new book. So, Spain's answer to Seinfeld. You know what? I'm not even going to read about it. I'm a big fan of The Lighthouse. I'm a big fan of just Paco Roca in general. Everything that he's written and drawn. Oh, so, okay. Yes, that will... Oh, dang it. This top 11 is going to be difficult. I got to redo the list. Ugh. Sorry. Talking to myself now. A Book to Make Friends With. This is coming out in hardcover format, and that is being published by Fantagraphics. The Adventures of Red Sonja Omnibus hardcover. So, finally coming out with the classic stories. Frank Thorne, so excited to talk about that. That one definitely has to make it just because, oh my gosh, I've been waiting years to read that stuff. I've only read some of the issues. Actually, just, I think the first 7 of that series. Blankets 20th Anniversary is coming out in a hardcover edition. All the Lovely Bad Ones is coming out in hardcover and in softcover format by Clarion Books. And we're also getting Black Phoenix Volume 2 coming out that very same week. And that is being published by Floating World Comics. And Boogeyman Trade Paperback Volume 1 being published by Ablaze Studios. And the people behind that are Jet and Matthew Salvia. Love that cover. Calvin and Hobbes Portable Compendium. Oh my gosh. Yes. It's one of my 5. My favorite comic strip has and always will be Far Side. My wife's Calvin and Hobbes. But my second, oh man, second is Peanuts. I love Peanuts so much. Calvin and Hobbes is probably third. Maybe I need to make a list. Disturbed Dark Messiah is coming out in trade paperback format that very same week. And that is being published by Incendium LLC. And we're also getting Dogs of London trade paperback. And that one is published by Aftershock Comics. Sorry, that cover's creepy as hell. It's like a guy with a Doberman mask. Peter Milligan, huh? Andy Clark and Art Tessida. It's the artist working on the book. And Eden 2 trade paperback coming out. That is being published by Fantagraphics. And we're also getting Ellis, trade paperback volume 2, Elliverse. And that is by Ablaze Publishing. Elvira in Horrorland hardcovers coming out, as well as the trade paperback. And Elvira meets Vincent Price, which is one of her favorite stories she shared with me when I interviewed her. Evanescence, Echoes from the Void. A book I did not expect from Opus Comics. Evanescence, huh? Family Time trade paperback is coming out. and that is being published by Ablaze Publishing. They're just keep pumping them out. Far Cry Esperanza Tears, trade paperback volume 1 from Ablaze Publishing. Like I said, man, they just keep pumping them out. Frank Miller's Pandora, trade paperback Awakening. This is a book by Chris Silvestri and Anthony Marinville and Emma Kubert working on the book, and it's from his new publishing company, Frank Miller Presents. And Gargoyles hardcover volume 1 here in Manhattan. Very excited to get that book. Now, both hardcover and trade paperbacks will be out the same day. Greg Weisman, George Cambadias, and David Nakayama supplying some of the covers for the book. So I think it's the first 5 issues. Golden Age Classics, Jungle Comics, Softy coming out, as well as a hardcover, and that is volume 1. Heavenly Demon Reborn, volume 2, from Ablaze Publishing, coming out that very same week, as well as Hell Sonia from Dynamite. That's Christopher Hastings and Pascual Calano working on the book. And Hex Americana is coming out that week from Iron Circus Comics. Hills of Estrella Roja is coming out that week from Clarion Books by Ashley Robin Franklin. Infinity Particle is coming out from Quill Tree Books, both in graphic novel and in hardcover, softcover format and in hardcover format. James Bond, Himeros, is coming out in hardcover format. And like I mentioned, those books are freaking awesome if you've not read them. And that's published by Dynamite. John Carter of Mars is coming out in trade paperback, also published by Dynamite. And Live Forever, Volume 1 from Rocket Ship Entertainment. Lone Sloan Babel hardcovers coming out. This is the Philippe Droulet book, and it is published by Titan Comics. I believe that's the latest one. And we're also getting Lovecraft Unknown Kadath, Volume 1, coming out from Ablaze Publishing. Man, they are just pumping books out that last week of the month. Moriarty Clockwork Empire, and that is being published by Titan Comics. Oh, man. My Friend Toby. I cannot wait to read this book. This is a hardcover from Magnetic Press by Gregory Panaccione, and $24.99. There's a freaking dog in it. I hope that dog don't die, because I can't. Oh, man. Our oldest cat is sick right now, and we are praying and hoping for the best. That dude has been with us for 18 years. It's a good cat. Pets, man. She gets so close to them. You know them better than people most times. Sorry. Okay, Outlaws. Volume 1, Cartel of the Peaks is coming out from Cinebook. Glad they're still pumping out books. Hoping to see some more Lucky Luke sometime. And we're also getting Phantom, the Gold Key Years, hardcover Volume 1. So this is the classic Phantom stuff from Hermes Press. So this will be limited to 1,000 copies, and it is $60. So keep that in mind, limited to 1,000 copies of that book. Punch Up, graphic novel, that is coming out from Oni Press, as well as Things in the Basement, coming out in hardcover and in softcover format. That is published by First Second Books. And Sheena, trade paperback volume 2, coming out that very same week. And that is being published by Dynamite. Terror Man, volume 1, coming out from Ablaze Publishing. And Topi Gallery, All the World's Glory, coming out in hardcover format. This is from Magnetic Press, Sergio Topi, who has been previously published by Titan Comics. I mean, most of his work has been. U-Ray is coming out, and that is published by Cinebooks. Wafku Volume 1 is coming out from Ablaze Publishing as well. West Coast Canuck, trade paperback Season 1, Prodigal Sons, from Lev Gleason Comic House. And Where Starships Go to Die, from Aftershock Comics, to wrap up that week and the month. Now, if you're interested in purchasing any of these books or pre-ordering them, check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget, the CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And those were the books that are coming out for the month of August of 2023. I will be doing a video on my top 10 that will come out on Sunday, or top 11 rather this time around. Let me know in the comments down below what you're most excited about in August, whether it's a big expensive month or you're off the hook, like just a couple of books. But let me know what your priorities are when it comes to collected editions, which books you're most interested in, which you have to have. That's it for me. Smash that like button on the way out. Big thank you to our patrons for making videos like this possible. Everyone, stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.